Hi, good morning, and welcome to day 2 of our Art of Introverted Leadership. And today I would like you to ask yourself, and I think I already know what your answer is going to be, but I want you to ask yourself, have you ever had that voice in your head? Maybe there's a couple of them, and they just kind of go around and around in your head, and it kind of goes something like this. You're way too quiet. There's no way that you're going to succeed in business. Or maybe you've had this voice. Who's going to take you seriously anyway? You're not outgoing. You're not extroverted like that other person. Or maybe it kind of goes something like this. You don't really know how to explain yourself. How do you explain your business? You're just not good at speaking. How are you going to get your message out if you're not even able to speak about yourself and what you do? Do you ever have those voices in your head? I know I've had those in my head many, many times, and it can be so frustrating, can't it? Because it's almost like you just want to go in your head and just pull them out and just throw them somewhere, but you can't really do that. One of the things I want to share with you is that when we have those negative voices in our head, those voices don't just come out of thin air. They don't just somehow come into our minds from the outer elements. Those voices that are in our heads are reflections of how we see ourselves. Those voices are mirroring our beliefs about ourselves. And ouch, right? Like that really does hit home when you think to yourself that those thoughts that you're having that are not supporting you are actually a reflection of how you see yourself and what you believe about yourself. And so when we believe something, we think in ways that support that belief, right? And when we're thinking something over and over and over again, it eventually influences the way that we act, which is how others see us. And so those voices in your head that keep going over and over and over, making you feel this small and making you question your role as a leader, as an entrepreneur, they really can get in the way of how others perceive you and how you get out into the world to share your gifts, because you end up acting in ways that support that thinking. So if you believe that you are too quiet, if you believe that you are no good at speaking, then that's how you're going to act, and that's how others are going to see you. So in order to begin showing ourselves and showing others that we absolutely do have what it takes and that we are going to be successful, we need to start changing our thoughts and our beliefs. And one of the things that I learned when I was in my coaching training program was a theory that I found really, really fascinating, and it was simply called crowding out. And this theory is used a lot to help support people who have eating habits that are not supporting them. So for example, if you were really trying to clean up your diet, and let's say your habit was just eating a lot of candy and a lot of chips every day, well, cutting that out cold turkey may not always be effective. Sometimes what's more effective in the long run is to simply start crowding out those foods. And I know we're not here to talk about food, but this is a great example because we can use it to help us with our thinking. And so if we look at the topic of food, if we begin crowding out that food that's not helping us by not focusing on releasing it completely, but instead of having that full bag of chips, maybe we're just having half, and maybe we're just eating an apple to fill ourselves up, right? And so gradually, as you begin to crowd out and crowd out and crowd out, your body starts getting used to those better choices in foods. And so it works the same way with our thinking. We can't just wake up tomorrow morning and say, from now on, I'm not thinking these thoughts anymore. We need to find ways to replace those thoughts with thoughts that are going to serve us better. So what I'd like you to do today is I'd like you to think about one of those thoughts that really doesn't serve you, the one that seems to come up the most, that voice that you hear in your mind more than anything else. And again, it could be voices around how quiet you are, and how other people aren't going to take you seriously. It could be voices around, you don't have networking skills. What are you doing? You don't have speaking skills. Who's going to listen to you? Whatever that voice is that keeps coming up for you over and over again, I want you to really identify that, and you may even want to jot it down in a journal or a sheet of paper. And then we're going to start crowding that voice out. So whenever that voice pops up, I want you to immediately picture a stop sign, and I want you to catch yourself with that thought, and start to replace it with its opposite, or something that feels much better. So for a lot of introverted leaders, one of the things that comes up is, I'm not good at speaking to people. I'm not good at introducing myself and initiating conversations, and that negative voice might be playing over and over. So if you have that kind of thought, you imagine a stop sign. Stop as soon as you have that thought, and you're going to tell yourself something that feels much better. You're going to try to replace that and crowd that thought out. So an example might be, yeah, I'm a quiet person, but I can really communicate clearly, and I can communicate authentically about what I do and what I have to offer. And I may not be the loudest person in the room, but I'm really, really good at communicating what services I have, what products I have, what business I'm in. I'm really good at communicating that in a way that people understand. So what you're doing is you're starting to replace those negative thoughts with thoughts that feel better. And so that is our task for today. I want you to just pay close attention to those thoughts that come up in your head, and begin to immediately replace them with thoughts that feel better. And as you do this over time, you will naturally begin to start quieting those negative thoughts and turning the volume up on the ones that are much more empowering. And I would love it if you could, once again, join our Facebook group. I will remind you of this each time when we have our video. Share what those thoughts are, and share what your crowding out thoughts look like. So I look forward to seeing your posts in our group, and I look forward to connecting with you tomorrow. So enjoy your day and stop those negative thoughts. See you soon. Bye.